Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working with the Junk Chunk Kit, the January Junk Chunk Kit from Jessica over at I'm a Cool Mom. You can click the link below to go to her Etsy shop, and she also has a YouTube channel, and I'm part of her design team. And so for the January Junk Chunk Kit, we got this lovely package full of retro vibe goodies. And I've been working on the cover. And so I wanted to show you what I've done so far and then work on it a little more with you. So I cut down the faux leather to the size that I wanted. And I used my sewing machine with some like teal aquamarine type thread. And I stitched this. It's almost like a peacock feather type stitch all around the edge to just add that extra oomph. Now the inside, since it's faux leather, it's almost like a felt, and I'm going to cover that with the piece of fabric that she includes in the kit. So how I'm going to do that is just use some of this Tombow glue here, and make sure it's flowing. And I'm just going to specifically make sure that the glue is on the stitches. I have found from making many journals that if I put glue on stitches, it helps hold everything better. So, and then I'm just going to kind of fill in with zigzags the whole area so that I can adhere the fabric. And I kind of want this floral image to kind of be in the middle. So I'm going to be cutting around all four sides. I'm just going to spread that out and push down so that the glue gets all in it. And it's as flat as possible. All right, and then I'm going to carefully flip it over because the glue is not dry yet. And I'm going to take my scissors, make sure I get a pair that cuts fabric well. And I'm just going to roughly trim to the edge. I kind of like an unfinished look with junk journals because they are junk journals. So here we go. Just, you know, I'm not using any straight edge. It's okay to me if a little bit of the fabric is hanging over. I don't have a problem with that. I think this is like a part of a vintage sheet, which is really neat. Definitely retro. And I think it's awesome how you can repurpose things like that for your craft projects and give them new life. Okay, so, excuse me, it needs to dry before, you know, I can really do much else with the cover, but we're going to work on some of the parts on the inside. So, oh, I got a little crushed. We have these journal pages from Mind Beretti, and this is kind of for like a meal planning, menu planning type of a thing, which I think is adorable, and I think I actually might even do that. So I've got those. I'm just kind of going through everything and trying to, you know, decide what I'm going to do here and what I'm going to make the cover of the insert, because this is going to be kind of like a faux dory. She has beautiful papers in here. Again, another one of these little envelopes. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so meals plan. I like that one with the schedule. Imagine kitchen. These are all more just like page ideas. I don't know which one I would want to use as a cover. Recipe. All right. Well, I might grab a piece of cardstock, just plain cardstock, for the cover. So let's get some of these pages assembled. She has some book pages right here. And so we're going to, let's see, fold one of these in half for one of our pages. And then we have some, I think this might actually be rice paper. I'm not sure. I think it's really neat texture, and we're just going to fold these pages in half and trim later. The boy who invented the bubble gun. That's cute. So these I'm probably going to use as part of the embellishing. Got a piece of ledger paper. And then these are the pages that she made, which is extra special. And then I will trim down, here's some vintage recipe pages. And then I will trim down these pages so that I can fold them in half and get them ready to go into the cover. So when I cut all these down. So when I'm spraying, I'm going to do some spraying on the back of them. I like to use this old bin. You've seen me use it in some of my videos before. That way it catches any of the extra spray and it doesn't get all over everything. So I cut these down, and the backs are white, and I don't want them white. But since the whole theme is retro vibe, I thought I would use a doily as a stencil, since that's kind of, to me, that's kind of the whole, feel of it. So I have some Glimmer Mist. This is Coffee Shop, and it's actually mixed with some actual coffee to kind of dilute it, I guess is the word. So I'm just going to kind of spray a little bit, and then I also have some Heidi Swapp Color Shine just to add a little bit of color, and a little bit of Sunlight Glimmer Mist as well. See, that looks really neat. And I'm going to take my hair dryer and just lightly, I'm not going to dry it all the way, but just enough so that I can lay the next page on top. And then I'm going to just put this on top here, grab the doily again, and repeat. I can change up the composition a little bit if I want. Like on this one, I'm going to add a little more yellow with just one little splash of blue. I can also change up where I place the doily. So this time I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to use the yellow to spray. And you just get a very light effect. Now I have my Heidi Swapp Ocean, is the color. That really is soaked through, so that, excuse me, may affect the picture on the other side. But I think it'll just make it look, yep, it just makes it look more retro and vintage. You can see it through this side, but I like doing that because I just think that it makes it look more used and worn and less like just a printed page. I think it adds a lot of character. And I love how this doily image came out here in the corner. The spray bottle is not wanting to work. I think it's on its last leg. Yeah. Oh well. You can't really see the yellow on the camera because it's just so light. It just adds a light yellow glimmer. Look at how pretty that is. You get almost the whole doily effect. And the last page. This one I'm not even going to do a doily. I'm just going to do a little bit of yellow and blue. And there you have it. So I'm going to let these finish drying the rest of the way. Actually, they're pretty dry. I think we can go ahead and fold them in half, along with the rest of our pages. And I'm okay with a little bit of ink transfer or a little bit of spray transfer because it just adds character. Sometimes you can't see, I got a little bit of the brown onto this, but it just adds character. Like, you can't really plan it, and that's the best way in my opinion. So I'm just folding all of these in half so that I can put them with the rest of the pages. And then I'll make sure they're all trimmed down to fit. Because some of the pages, like the ledger page, are way too big. And these may even need to be trimmed slightly because I think I made my cover quite small. All right, so let's see how many pages we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is perfect. That makes a 60-page booklet. So I'm going to make sure they're all trimmed down to the cover, and I'll be right back. So I trimmed all of them to fit inside this cardstock I have. It kind of has, I like the almost vintage look to the gray and the blue kind of mottled paper look, and this is a 4x8, which fits perfectly inside this. I think I made a little bit smaller than I initially wanted to, so I had to trim some of these pages down. They still work pretty well. Now, to create our signature, I'm just going to decide how I want these to go inside the cover. It's always hard to choose. So I think this will be my first page, and then I'm just going to sort of randomly place all of the pages in here. They should all fit in here nicely. Yep. There we go. So now we have our pages all assembled and in the booklet. And I'm going to paper clip and stitch them in. So I've grabbed my paper clips, and I like to paper clip my pages into the cover before I stitch, because otherwise the holes slip and they don't line up, and it takes me about 4 times as long. So now that the pages are secure in there, I'm going to grab my awl, which I just saw, and I'm just going to eyeball it since I'm only working with one signature here, and I'm going to do a simple pamphlet stitch, just 3 holes. I'm going to take a little bit of this crochet thread and a needle and stitch those pages right in. I used to use my sewing machine for stitching in one signature. I don't do that anymore because I think it was really dulling my needle, and after a while it wasn't working very well anymore, and it was causing more frustration than just hand stitching it quickly. So I pretty much just most of the time hand stitch now. It's a lot of pages to go through the sewing machine, and I'm really surprised that I was able to stitch that many signatures together using my sewing machine before I really dulled the needle. And I could probably put in a new needle and try it again, but I don't really want to deal with that. It's a lot faster to do this. I don't know what I did there. Not tying this knot right. And one more time for security. There we go. So in the next video, we will continue to work more on it. Hopefully next week I'll get another one up and maybe we can decorate the cover, and the glue will be dry here so we can finish working on the outer cover as well. So thank you for crafting along with me and watching my creative process as I create with the Junk Chunk Kit by the lovely Jessica over at I'm a Cool Mom and Cool Mom Book Boutique on Etsy.